Enter Snowmass Mountain. Today's weather is guaranteed to be sunny all day, which is amazing. This is a 22-mile round-trip course. I am taking the east slope where this trail is at its longest. There's another route you could take, the west slopes, which is a 9-mile round trip. However, the catch to that one is you are virtually climbing on the face of the mountain. Spoken to a few climbers who have done this before. They've seen, hold on. They've seen on that other face of the mountain that rock is at its loosest. I can't even speak right now. Rock is extremely loose on that side of the mountain, and ultimately is slightly more dangerous. So I thought about it for a while, and I decided just to go the standard route. Yes, it's longer, 22 miles, it's kind of a dread, but you know what? It doesn't matter at this point. Today, if I'm successful, will mark my 30th official climb, which puts me over half, well over halfway finished with Colorado's 14ers. It's amazing how this journey started off with just one simple idea. If you would have asked me as a kid, would you be climbing mountains when you're older? There is a good chance I'd say yes, because climbing mountains is a passion of mine that is just as big as my health, my other forms of involvement. So, but 14ers, I never would have thought it. This trail has it is on private property, but it is allowed for climbers to come by and hike and camp. Just checking in at the trailhead. No permit was required, thankfully. So probably we'll have more videos about this trip. Solo mission. So let's just see how this ends up. Well, as projected, so far the sky is clear as day. Sun's coming up. Still at the beginning phases of the trailhead, but nonetheless, I'm not too worried about the weather because I've been watching it for the last week, and actually this is the perfect week to go hiking or climbing, whatever is of the interest. But I'm at that point in the trail where you get to see the prelude of the mountain, and there it is, Snowmass Mountain. After 8 long miles, I finally have reached Snowmass Lake. It's a long trip, but made it. But now that I'm here, seeing the mountain itself, I'm just speechless. Like, it is words can't even describe it. Perhaps I should just turn around for you to see it yourself. That tip right there is actually Snowmass Peak. Believe it or not, that is a 13er. I would say, actually, where my axe is pointing, that is the summit. So it's going to be a lot of scrambling, a lot of, it's going to be, the majority of the work is going to be right there. I thought there was going to be a lot of snow up there, because that's what the reports always say, but apparently I'm wrong. So, incredible. I just don't know what to say. Thank God it is a bluebird kind of day, because I have a feeling this piece of the trail is just going to be incredible. Seeing this mountain from a distance has been incredibly intimidating, but these mountains always play little mind games on people. I finally have crossed around the Snowmass Lake. Now I'm into the boulders, and basically I gotta go up where that line is. That's my checkpoint. Other than that, I hope this piece of the trail doesn't take too long. Wish me luck. Finally made it to the saddle. That was an experience I'm never gonna forget. But still not done. I'm right around 14,000 feet. I think behind me is the saddle. You can see it. So right now I'm finally seeing the west slope, and the hikers I was talking to weren't joking that it is definitely loose. Check it out. That is legitimately a straight up climb. There is the Snowmass Peak. Surprisingly enough, that intimidating mountain is smaller than the one that I'm on. In fact, I think I'm at level with it. You can probably see the trail in the distance, but yeah, as you can see, the weather couldn't be better. The wind is just right. Can you imagine going through that? Look at that. Can you imagine? I'm sure some of you can. Anyway, I have to cross around this right here, and that the peak in the background, that's it. It's been a long journey. I am excited to get this one done. Number 30, on my way home. I can grill some steaks. I'm in the mood for that. Yeah, definitely. After a long journey, I finally made it to the summit of Snowmass Mountain. For climbing Castle and Conundrum yesterday and doing this, I'm beat. This, I have to give this mountain points. It did defeat me a few times, but I had to keep telling myself each step was closer to the goal. And now I'm here, scaling out the more challenging climbs that I will be performing next year. If I'm not mistaken, actually, that mountain right there apparently is Capitol Peak. And if that is Capitol Peak, all the mountaineers that are watching this, please correct it if it's right, if that is the mountain. But for all my viewers, that right there has the infamous knife edge. And veterans may explain that it's not as bad as it seems, but really the trail, just take one of your knives, turn it upside down, and the sharp end, well, that is that trail right there. It's probably one of the more rewarding climbs because of how difficult it is. But in the meantime, Snowmass is this highlight of the day. Please enjoy this wonderful, unspeakable beauty of a view. Well, half my work is done. The next mission, the car, and then home. A very special announcement. I finally saw humans on this trail. I seriously thought Snowmass was going to be the one mountain where I summon up and down without seeing any sort of human contact. Nonetheless, I'm glad I saw them. It was kind of it was a morale booster for me. I am like so far in the zone right now. Like, I can't even like think. I'm calling myself crazy for hacking my way back to the car. At this point I have 8 miles left, but truthfully I have no choice. I have to go back. So it's just like Ontario. 22 miles, round trip, up and down. Ontario, though, was kind of more of a suspenseful summit. Looks like I'm running into more humans. More on that later. Well, the sun is setting, so figured I would get one more video log in before it gets dark. So I figured I do my final thoughts, reflection of this trip. Last month I wanted to do another trifecta. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do it due to some technicalities. Looking back now, I'm glad it didn't happen. But I did it this time. So with that being said, I guess everything happens for a reason. This climb just virtually just completely kicked my butt. I passed the point of pure exhaustion. There was so many times where I honestly wanted to throw in the towel. But that didn't happen. Not on a day like this. But I can say is that if you ever do Snowmass Mountain, be ready
for a very, very long day. It is not one of those mountains that you can run up and run down in a few hours. If you wish to do this mountain on the east side, the east slope, excuse me, be ready for a preliminary 8-mile hike just of the base of the mountain. Once you're at the base, then it's an additional 3 miles just to get from that point to the summit. Sounds easy? Not quite. When you are trekking through the Boulder Valley, rocks collapse underneath your feet. Sad to say that I did take a number of hits today. Ankles, knees, even my wrist. Wasn't feeling too hot today. But that's what to expect.